we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how last year was on my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mahomes now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail. Left.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. He's got Watkins on the out route. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now they'll run it on the toss. Open space inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Spencer Ware, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Gostkowski the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Lynch will lead up the Broncos here with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Lynch. And his first look is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. Going for the deep ball. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Randall Cobb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. McManus's point after is good, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know that makes some adjustments.
Mahomes now on 1st down. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Ready. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And the pressure gets to him again.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 2nd down, here's Lynch. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, it's Lynch. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a KC touchdown. Short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Lynch will lead up the Broncos here with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Gone, 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 gone. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
Back to the air, Lynch after the pick six. Man, complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chris Jones in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
No, Jack, Patriot.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. It's Lynch. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point from McManus is good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So we got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Left, 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 left. Ace, ace. Left, 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 left.
Ware takes the give from Mahomes. A little juke across the 30 to the 31-yard line. The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle.
I would say that's what you call a whole lot for a little, huh?
When you bust that move out of the bag, you hope for more than 4 yards, but hey, 4 is what he got. Now here's Mahomes. Goes to Ware on the screen. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead. Gostkowski with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. Right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Lynch on first down. Caught left side by Cobb. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. McManus's point after is good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. On the run, it's Ware. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to Denver right after this. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
There we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain. And it's 3rd and 2 now. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. We have been treated to great offense on both sides. The defense is on the other end of the spectrum. They're just searching for answers right now, aren't they?
And for most defenses, it's a very uncomfortable and in a lot of ways unfamiliar spot because points are going to be scored. But the way we're seeing them today, it's almost like there's no resistance. They've got to figure out how to slow these offenses down. Maybe someone on either side can make a big play and start to wreck and disrupt the timing that we're seeing.
As we get closer to halftime here. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done.
And now the rookie's free. 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos have broken the tie. McManus now for the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Mahomes now to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Mahomes now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They go play fake. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath, as now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here, as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Lynch looking to throw on second. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Nate Hairston there defensively.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally, someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Now it's Lynch. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, Lynch. Going up top. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They'll run now with Ware. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Left. Green, 39.
They run again with Ware. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Ace! Ready! Blue 45! Blue 45! Zing!
On second down, here's Mahomes. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Don't forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Adam Gotsis in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail. Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hill. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Ready.
They'll run it with Williams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete. Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Tells you whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Lynch will lead up the Broncos here with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They go play action with Lynch. And that is incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now he'll turn and throw deep back. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A gain of 32 that time. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll throw on 1st down with Lynch. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Chris Jones on the stop. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
On 3rd down, Lynch. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football. And especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Mahomes. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Heck of a broken tackle, but only able to work this down near the 23. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5.
4 down. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Wide, get wide. Watch it now, Barney.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And McManus able to put it through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
Yes, it was a touchdown, and not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. On the crossing route, complete. It's Campbell. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in the game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Throwing now is Lynch. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That can finish things off for them.
Now Lynch. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Now it's Lynch. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
4 down, check, 4 down. Watch you now, Barney. Watch you now, Barney.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down at the 34. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. This from 51 yards for the win. And this one is right down Broadway. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year. But he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for Denver, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they will try to turn it around next week as they head down to Carson for a matchup with the LA Chargers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.